what's up? It's your girl Tiarra Monet. Welcome to my channel. I'm really excited about this series. It is the first of many, I pray, but I have just fallen in love with matcha. I've upgraded to ceremonial grade matcha and just agave because the pre-made mixtures are full of sugar, and sugar is not good for the waistline. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Today's series is going to be our matcha and murder mystery, and basically this is a genre that I overindulge in. I'm really big on mystery and solving problems, and watching these videos always gives me life. So this was inspired by a few very successful and popular women on YouTube that do murder and makeup. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and this video is so kindly sponsored by NYX Cosmetics. Thank you guys for making this happen. You guys know that we are living in masks all day, every day. So for all my girls that do wear makeup and have to run out and throw a mask on, we are going to be using their Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation, which is really good for transfer proof looks, honey. And we're also going to be using their matte finish Fenty Matte setting spray, and this is supposed to lock it in and make it the best transfer proof experience for you. Okay, so we're going to be doing that. I'm also going to be swatching a few shades for you. I know a lot of you girls are my complexion, so you use me as a reference. So we're going to do a little swatch party while we talk about Kenneka Jenkins. Now, this is not going to be purely for entertainment purposes. This is to bring awareness to this case. It's a case that was really, really close to my heart. It's 3 years old, but I still think it's extremely relevant. It's something that I want to share, especially if you might not have heard about this case. I think it's important for women especially to hear this case, what happened, and how this sort of could have been avoided. There was a death involved with this case. Kenneka Jenkins is no longer here with us, but I do think that this is a case that doesn't need to die. You know, it needs to be brought up and reintroduced, especially to people who may not have heard about this case, because I do think as women, we need to just be a little bit more careful and stick together, because this probably could have been avoided. So I definitely think this case can help some of us and just kind of help us figure out how to move and navigate a little, you know, be a little bit more safe. So here we go. So I'm going to start by priming, and I'm going to be using my Becca First Light priming filter. And I like iced matcha because I feel like it's more of like a dessert. I don't know, I don't really like hot drinks, so iced is it for me, honey. Kenneka Jenkins was 19 years old, and she grew up in Rosemont, Illinois. She was a beautiful young girl, flawless skin, you know, her hair was laid, honey. Kenneka was definitely coming into herself. She made sure she was cute, okay? And in maintaining herself, she got a new job at a nursing home, which is epic for a 19-year-old, okay? She was keeping the coins rolling it, okay? So for my Can't Stop, Won't Stop, I'm gonna be swatching the shades Mocha, Deep Cool, Cocoa, and Sienna. I'm gonna go with Deep Cool. I just feel like that shade looks really bomb. And let's get back into it. So on September 10th, 2017, again, this was 3 years ago, Kenneka and her friends decided to go to a party at the Crown Plaza, and this is also in Chicago, and she didn't tell her mom. And I know we've all kind of been there, like we've all done things like this, which is why I think this case stuck out to me, because if you haven't, I want you to take a second and just thank God for covering you, because we've all been Kenneka, we've all done this. And I think that's why this case kind of hit home and was so viral, because it just was so common. Like, it's something that most girls do. You know, our mother's intuition is always, you know, right for the most part, and maybe her mom wouldn't have approved her going out to this party with said group of friends, you know. So she didn't tell her mom. She told her she was going bowling, you know. We're going to celebrate. I got a new job, mama. We're going to get lit at the bowling alley with soda. But she, you know, she went to a party. So this foundation, guys, is supposed to be lightweight and pigmented, which I can see. It's definitely light. Another point is that this is supposed to be transfer proof en masse. So for all of my girls who like to still be beat and safe, this should be a really good formula for you. So we're going to test it out. And it's also oil free, which is perfect for me because I tend to get super oily. I am the oil queen. which I've grown to appreciate because it definitely keeps your skin looking supple and young. So don't hate on your oil, embrace it. But an oil-free foundation is perfect for oily girls like me. Oh, also there are 45 shades, so they've got everyone covered. It's vegan and cruelty-free, okay? So as you guys can see, I like to go a little bit deeper because I love to highlight. So I like to match my face to my neck, not match the highlights of my face to my foundation, if that makes sense. So I have a mask here. I'm just gonna see. I want to see. Hey girl. Hey girl. Can I have a matcha latte, please? Thanks. Oh wow. Can you guys see that? Can you see that? Holy smokes. Very little, like a smidgen of transfer. Oh wow. I wanted to do this now because if I put my powders and my blush, it kind of takes away from their claim. So I wanted to test it, and we clear. So I'm gonna highlight using my Becca Cosmetics concealer in the shades Honey and Cinnamon. All right. So Kenneka and her homegirls stopped to get liquor. They stopped to get, you know, a Bluetooth speaker and some Red Bull. I mean, again, the story is so relatable because I've been that girl. I've stopped to get a speaker. I've stopped to get a Red Bull and some tequila, you know? 15 minutes after they get to the party, Kenneka texts her sister, and like, her sister didn't even know that this would be the last time that she would speak to her. And that is just so incredibly sad. And it just breaks my heart. So this party was on the 9th floor of the Crown Plaza Hotel. And there were about 30 to 40 people in this hotel room. Now, I have never been one for crowds. I'm extremely claustrophobic, and I'm always thinking about tight spaces, emergencies, and being trampled. I don't know why. So I definitely probably would not have been at this hotel party because I would have been like, honey, that's too many people. We're not talking about like a suite. We're not talking about, you know, a big room. This is a normal size hotel room, and that is pretty crowded in my opinion. 30 or 40 people in one room. Of course there were noise complaints, and I want you guys to keep note of that because at a hotel, if there are noise complaints, there's usually security that comes and shuts things down. So they should be doing that. Kenneka is seen on other people's lives, you know, drinking, having a good time, and she's not seen smoking weed. She's not seen partaking in anything abnormal. But someone provided her with liquor. Someone bought them liquor. She's 19 years old, so, you know, underage drinking, you know, it sucks. We've all been there. But, you know, they shouldn't have had access to alcohol. An hour into this party, and I'm assuming that it was a birthday party because there were a few videos of people who were singing happy birthday. I do believe one of Kenneka's friends was celebrating her birthday as well because one of her videos actually went viral and she was accused of a lot of things. But you see her on live, you know, being complimented. People are saying she looks so good. Happy birthday, girl. You can also see Kenneka in that video. But an hour in, the girls decide, we gotta go. We've had enough. It's time to go. So they head to the elevator, and Kenneka realizes once they get to the elevator that she left her phone and car keys, which is odd. And I'm thinking, like, as a girl, like, maybe she was uncomfortable because I don't know anyone who can leave not only their cell phone, we live with our cell phones on our hip. So either she's not feeling well, you know, either she felt uncomfortable, but they left the room in a hurry, clearly. Because, like, one, it's 30 to 40 people in a hotel room, and why would you sit your phone down? Like, you know, you don't know everyone at this party, and people have sticky fingers. So I personally feel like something happened. Something made them, like, want to leave early. So there's 3 friends and Kenneka, and this is the part that really pissed me off. I don't know why this was the decision that was made, but it was like, we're gonna go back and get your phone. You wait here at the elevator, which leads me to believe that maybe something happened. Maybe Kenneka was uncomfortable. Maybe there was a guy that made her feel weird. Because that's the only reason I would think the friends would be like, we got it. Let us go. Because why would 3 people leave their friend, right? My best friend's here, by the way. So the friends leave her at the elevator and tell her to wait, I'm guessing, or they'll be back. They're going to go get her stuff. When the friends come back, Kenneka's gone. Now, there's all these conspiracies attached to this case, obviously. And one of them was that the friends had set her up, which is odd to me because, you know, on camera, you can see the friends frantically searching for Kenneka. Like, they're going up and down the elevators, they're going up and down the floors, they're looking for her. You see them on camera, like, you know, like they're looking for their friends. So I don't agree with that narrative, and I think it's unfair to say that floating around. Now, this is when I was like, okay, something's wrong. At 4 a.m., the friends called Kenneka's mom. Mind you, I think they got to this party at like 8 or 9. We all know if you're calling someone's mom, something is really wrong. You guys have pretty much exhausted all of your options and you're afraid. So for them to call her mom, first of all, if something ever happened to my friends, calling Mama T would probably be the last thing. You know, that is emergency. That's 911. So they call Kenneka's mom at 4 a.m. and thank God she's awake. I do believe her mom was recovering from some sort of surgery as well. So, you know, she's like, the friends are calling the mom like, hey, is Kenneka there? Because we can't find her. And Kenneka had took her mom's car that night. So the car keys were to Kenneka's mom's car. And she's like, no, Kenneka never came home. So what do you guys think happened? Teresa's freaking out. She gets up and comes right over to the hotel. Of course, like any mom would do, she's going to go up to the receptionist. You know, hey, my daughter's missing. She was here. And I don't know if it was a profiling thing or if they were irritated because she was a part of the group that were disturbing their guests. You know, the people who were, you know, getting the noise complaints. But she really got, like, no energy. Like, the receptionist was like, yeah, I can't help you. Like, which would have ticked me off, you know? My daughter is missing. Like, help me out. And I do feel like if you listen to some of the tapes, I do feel like her mom just really was kind of ignored, period. Like, she wasn't taken serious, in my opinion. Kenneka missing wasn't taken serious, in my opinion. They go to the lower level. Now Kenneka's mom is looking for her daughter. She's just like, oh, you're not gonna help me? Like, I'm gonna help myself and find my child because she's here. Like, she couldn't and wouldn't have left. So they go to the lower level, and I don't know if you guys are aware, but most lower levels of hotels are like conference rooms, usually where like people get married, businesses have meetings. There's usually auditoriums, the kitchen. That's usually where your room service comes from. So they're on the lower level looking for Kenneka because her mom feels dismissed. Her mom feels like, you're not looking, you're not pressed, but I am. This is my child. She asked if she could look at surveillance, and this is something that was negligent on the hotel's behalf because if they had looked at surveillance, they probably would have found Kenneka sooner. They refused to look at surveillance. The woman was like, you know, there's nothing I can do. Like, you know, I will have to call my higher up. Call your higher up. Like, she's in this hotel. And if this person had literally, and I pray for this person because I know they feel guilty. They have to if they have a soul. But if they would have looked at their surveillance, called their manager, they could have found Kenneka. Like, a 19-year-old girl, and it sucks because she goes from like being a minor, and then once you hit 19, you're not old enough to buy liquor, but she's an adult. Maybe she's out. She'll come back around. No, this is a child. Like, find her. So they tell her mom, you know, you need to call the police and file a missing persons report. And the police also were shady with her mom. They were just like, yeah, you know, she's probably just, you know how kids are. No, I know my kid. Like, she wouldn't do this. So, you know, and I think they had persuaded her not to file a missing persons report, or they just didn't want to do the work. But you can file a missing persons report if someone's missing, period. Don't ever let a cop tell you you can't. They don't want to do the paperwork, you know? So, you know, the cops are very dismissive at this point. And this next point is insane. Her mom is upset. She's freaking out. She can't find her baby. The cops do show up. They don't show up because Kenneka's mom called. They dismissed her. They show up because her family is now at this hotel turning up. They are going from door to door, knocking on hotel rooms. They are literally pulling fire alarms, which is genius. Because if she's in this hotel and someone has their daughter, cousin, sister in a room and they pull a fire alarm, you have to leave. You have to exit. So she's going to be saved. So they were genius in their approach to finding her. But that's why the cops came. They didn't come because the mom called hours earlier. concerned. They came because the hotel cited them as a disturbance. Exactly. So a full day later, this is September 10th now, at midnight. Mind you, they're still looking for Kenneka. You know, the mom is calling the cops. The mom is talking to her Facebook Live, updating them, like trying to keep people abreast, because this is odd. The next day, a kitchen manager, again, I mentioned to you guys that on the lower level, there was conference rooms and, you know, ballrooms. There was also 2 kitchens. Now, one of the kitchens, again, was for their food, one of the restaurants, but the other kitchen was not being used. And this kitchen was still fully functional. It had a do not enter sign, but you could walk right through these double doors. A kitchen manager randomly walks through these doors. Now, there's no reason, in my opinion, for the manager to be in a closed kitchen. But I'm going to leave my conspiracy alone. So he walks in this kitchen. Now, apparently, this freezer in this, like, second kitchen remained on because it was supposed to be, like, overflow for food. I think that's odd, but whatever. This freezer is empty. It's unused. What overflows is, like... This manager walks into that kitchen. I don't know what he walked into there for. Again, it's not a functional kitchen. There's no food in there. Why do you randomly walk into this kitchen? Anyway, he walks in and goes into the freezer. Exactly. And this freezer, there was a camera. It's a lot of conspiracy, but there was a camera that was near the freezer that wasn't working, but there's another camera that shows an angle on the freezer, and you see him opening the freezer door, and this is when they find Kenneka. So they discover Kenneka, and she's not alive. They call the cops, and the cops are trying to figure out, like, how'd she get in here? You know, she's basically pronounced dead. Of course, her mom is still back and forth to the hotel at this point, so they pull her mom into a conference room to tell her what's happening, and you guys can imagine how distraught her mom is at this point. She's screaming. She's like, I cannot imagine that feeling. She's pronounced dead, and, you know, they're like doing their initial inspection, investigation, and, you know, she has no visible trauma to the body, but she does have this, like, abrasion on her foot. I do think one of her shoes were off. She had a contusion on her leg. So it's odd. And there was also things that were left out of the report. There was a piece of a plastic trash bag on her. Why? You know, so it's just things that I felt should have been investigated thoroughly, and I think they kind of just were like, oh, she, you know, walked into a freezer, that's done. But it's weird, you know? So they run a toxicology report, and they find caffeine, so that's why I said remember that later. This is the Red Bull that they purchased. They found alcohol. Obviously, she was drinking. What kid doesn't drink at a hotel party? They also find this drug called Topamax. And I'm just going to read the side effects of this drug. The side effects of this drug include tiredness, drowsiness, dizziness, nervousness, numbness, coordination problems, diarrhea, and weight loss. Now, allegedly, this drug is to treat people that have epilepsy or seizures, and according to her mom, she suffered from none of those. So I don't know if this was like a drug that a friend might have discovered and was like, girl, makes you feel high or lit. We have to speculate because we don't know. But, you know, the first thing I thought was she was drunk. Somebody slipped it to her. But they were able to figure out that this was a drug that she had taken more than one time. So, of course, she's 19. She can legally get drugs and her mother not know at all. I don't know what the case was with this prescription she was taking or took. But yeah, she had no history of epilepsy, so there was no reason for her to have taken this drug. I also want to note that there was no marijuana found in her system, because that's usually like, oh, they probably like mixed drugs. No, she didn't do marijuana. So this pill might have been just something she had before, she had taken. I don't know, but it was found in her system, and it was found that she had used it multiple times. So the cause of death was basically ruled as hypothermia and intoxication. So basically, She, you know, locked herself in the freezer, wasn't able to get out of this freezer, and, you know, she passed away from hypothermia, which is so sad, because I just can't imagine what she felt in that freezer alone. I hope she didn't suffer, you know. But basically her being intoxicated also aided in her like not being able to function properly and or get out of the freezer, allegedly. Because it's so odd to me that she would just randomly wander into this freezer. So after this case was ruled an accidental death, they went back to review the tapes, which was problematic to me because I feel like this should have happened right away. Why are you going back after the fact to review tapes? Like you should have done this from jump, and then a lot of things could have been avoided. Kenneka is seen wobbling. She's unbalanced. She literally can't walk straight. She's stumbling. It literally looks like she's been roofied. Like, it's more than just a drunk night. Like, we've all been drunk. We've all been inebriated to the point where you can't see straight. But like the way she was walking, the way she was functioning, like it was more than something, especially if she had taken Topamax before. Clearly she knows how to handle it, right? That was not normal. Like, and I don't see any girl taking a drug to go to a hotel party and having to drive home. I don't know, I just feel like if this is a drug that she's taken before, like the toxicology report stated, I don't see her reacting in this way. I feel like there might have been some sort of drug that is maybe untraceable that was slipped into her drink. This is a very close party. It's very easy for these, like we've seen this happen, you know? So of course her mom is distraught, she's hysterical. Her first response was basically that it was accidental. I mean, she's also in shock. Like, you don't want to accept that anything bad has happened to your daughter, like someone did something bad to your daughter. Later, she goes on Dr. Oz's show with Nancy Grace, and she's like, nah, this ain't right. Something ain't right. I guess she's had time to sit with it and realize the things just don't add up. Her mom pointed out that, like, the condition of her clothing was odd. You know, like, her daughter wouldn't be so disheveled. Her shirt was up, you know? So it was like, was this some sort of, like, sexual advance gone wrong? Like, what happened? Did she fight with someone? Did she struggle? Again, that little piece of trash. And I don't even want to go here with the conspiracies, guys, but you can look up videos and there's so many like troubling things that were overlooked. Her shoe was off, you know, it's just a lot. The drug was so random to be in her system. Like, was she drugged? And again, this is what a mom's gonna think. You don't know if your kid is taking drugs, you know, or not. So she's like, my daughter she didn't have epilepsy. Like, she wouldn't have been taking this drug. Every mom would think that. So one of her mom's concerns, again, was that her clothes were, like, disheveled. Like, she didn't look like she just walked in and you know, didn't come out. She looked odd. Like, her clothing was odd. In the process of hypothermia, allegedly that final stage that you're in, your body kind of tricks you into thinking that you're burning up. So, like, you're cold, you know, and as hypothermia sets in, you actually get, like, that feeling of being overheated. Like, so you start, like, ripping off your clothes. And this is called paradoxical undressing, which is insane, you know, and that would sort of explain why her clothes look like that, because allegedly she would have been trying to rip them off herself. I mean, certain things we'll never know, but as a mom, I would definitely want answers. I'd want this case to be reopened. It's just too many loose ends, you know. Her mom did end up filing a $50 million lawsuit against the hotel. I don't think any amount of money is going to heal her, but she deserves it, all of it. And basically in the lawsuit, you know, one of the things was, you know, you have these underage kids at a party, you got noise complaints, you didn't break up the party, you didn't kick them out. That is definitely protocol. If children are partying at your hotel, you received a noise complaint, there's no reason you guys did not stop the party, and that could have potentially saved her daughter's life, you know. Not only that, there were drugs and alcohol being served to minors. Your security should have peeped that. Kenneka looked all of 19, probably younger. She looks like she could have been 17. Security should have been on top of that. So they absolutely should have shut this party down. So this case has been closed and ruled an accident, and that is still very heartbreaking to me. This case still sits very heavily on my heart. I have definitely changed the way that I function in hotels. I'm definitely a lot more aware. I'm definitely looking at exits. I'm definitely bolting my doors. I was definitely bi-coastal, I think, when this happened, and I was living out of hotels at this point. And I would be so afraid. Like, I would tell my friends, like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. Like, I was so afraid. And I think you should always, I know hotels seem safe, but you should always watch your back as if you're not staying at a safe place when you stay at hotels. I do feel like the conspiracies surrounding this case kind of hurt it a little bit. I dislike that she was called Kenneka, the girl that disappeared in the freezer, or the freezer girl. This is a brown woman, a black woman that passed away. Like, she's not the freezer girl. Like, this is not just a salacious story. This is a real story. A real person, a young girl whose life ended prematurely. Like, to deduce her to the freezer girl is beyond disrespectful. This spray that I'm holding in my hand is the #1 setting spray in America. And I'm going to be using the Matte Finish Fini Matte. This is available at Ulta Beauty and nyxcosmetics.com. It is lightweight, comfortable, and long-lasting. It helps keep your makeup transfer-proof and last all night. It's vegan, no animal-derived ingredients, and it's 100% cruelty-free. This is supposed to seal all the product in. Be sure to try the NYX Cosmetics Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. I'm gonna do another test. I have on lip gloss right now, so the lip gloss might transfer. And I also have powder on top of my foundation. I wanna get lipstick on. Okay. Okay, my lipstick did come off on this. Okay, NYX Cosmetics. Wow. Yeah, literally the only thing that came off is my lip gloss. And I was like this. So I think it was the top. Wow, I think we have transfer-proof foundation for reals. So I want to get to why I chose this topic in this video. Even though it's 3 years old, one, I do think this story is hella relevant. I think as women, we have to really make sure we look out for each other and stick together. It's important to make sure that your friends have a buddy system. You do not want to go to any party and leave any of your friends solo, okay? Especially a hotel party. Hotels just have a connotation, if you know what I mean. And if you're going to a party at a hotel, you have to think that, you know, some people may be preying on you, you know, and you want to move that way. You want to have a buddy system. You don't want to let your friends go to a bathroom alone. No one goes to the car alone. Everyone sticks together. Your location is on. My best friend and I literally have our locations shared at all times. I just realized I forgot to highlight. That's important, you know, like, keep your phone on your person. Keep your car keys on your person. If you want to be cute and you want to just, you know, walk into the party with your phone, cool. But make sure it has a pop socket so that it's comfortable and it's always in your hand. Make sure you have a little purse, maybe, something. Keep your phone on you at all times. Again, thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you to NYX Cosmetics for sponsoring this video and making this come to life. I'm really excited to share more content with you guys. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Please thumbs up this video and share it if you care. And I'll see you in my next one.